Parents out of Kentucky and the baby who died. Which one is that? This little girl. Yes, and we're going to talk about that one too. That is another one. That's another one. That's another one that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about that one in a minute. But first, I want to tell you about this little girl. Now, I covered this case when it happened. We are over 2 years now. We are over. This happened 2.5 years ago. And I covered it. Let me move her up a little bit so you can see her. I covered it when it happened. Because this happened, you're right, Zesty. This happened in a town that I am from. Bell County, Kentucky. I grew up in Harlan County, which is, but I grew up Pathfork Holler, which is like 2 miles from the Bell County line. Everything that we did was in Bell County, how you live close to the county line and an adjoining county. Like you are that county also a lot of times. Her name is Baby Elena Hembree. I can't type or nothing. Hold on a minute. It won't let me type it all, but I'll put it right there so you guys know who I'm talking about. Okay. Elena Hembree, Hembree. I'm going to tell you what happened. There's been an update as of yesterday. This is why I'm talking about this. So this has been ongoing for over 2 years. He has accepted it. We'll get to that part, True Crime Nicole. He has accepted it. It's a matter of whether the judge will sign off of it. And I've got a good mind to go home, to go to court, to watch this unfold. It happens November the 3rd also. 17-month-old Elena Hembree was found unresponsive in Bell County, Kentucky in July 2023 after days of brutal abuse. Doctor says that she suffered multiple head traumas. She had been shaken at least on 3 separate occasions. To give you the gist of it, her mother, Erica Lawson, was arrested. The baby was unresponsive. She took the baby down to Middlesboro ARH, where my aunt retired from as a nurse, so I'm very familiar with the hospital. Baby Elena, 17 months old. She takes her to ARH. They fly her out to Children's Hospital in Knoxville. Here's what happened to her. Now I'm going to be graphic because I was sent photos of this little baby in the hospital by people connected to the case back at home, friends and whatnot. This little girl had been raped so much and so bad that she was nearly ripped to death. "17 months old. 17 months old. In fact, they had found out during the course of their investigation after she was in the hospital that Erica Lawson was loaning her baby out in exchange for street pharmaceuticals. So the men would come in, they would give her what she wanted, and she would hand them the baby, and then they would take the baby to the bedroom. Over and over and over again. Yes, it is, Leslie, from Middlesboro. Yes, makes me sick too. In fact, when this happened, there were 3 different male DNA suspects. A white t-shirt was turned in as evidence with baby footprints on the shirt in blood. There's only one problem. Erica Lawson gave the baby a bath while she was unconscious and then took her to the emergency room, thus cleaning off the DNA. There were 3 suspects, one of which, oddly enough, was killed in a drive-by pew-pewing in Middlesboro, which doesn't happen. We don't have drive-bys in Middlesboro. I guess fate has a way of catching up, and that's called karma. But the other 2 that's still alive, it's from where I grew up, hindsight. In fact, it's an hour and a half from home. This hearing that I'm about to tell you about is going to happen November the 3rd, and I'm thinking about packing up the car. My aunt lives in Middlesboro, going over to the aunt's house, spending the night, and then going to the court hearing the next day. Anybody can go in. We're going to get to why we're going to court on November the 3rd in a minute. And it's going to make you sick to your stomach. So some time goes by. And essentially, they came back with couldn't prove there was no male DNA on the baby. There was no male DNA on the baby. No, she died. She died, Kirsten. She's dead. All right, so no male DNA. So there are 2 people out there in Middlesboro, Kentucky, or surrounding areas who are still running free. And they know who they are. In fact, if you were with me through this case, you'll recall that I played secret recordings between Trey Hembree, the girl's father, and one of the perpetrators. Secret recordings, phone calls that someone sent me. It was a whole thing back then. Now, let me catch you up to where we're at. It's not going to let me do that one. Let me try background. I think this picture that I'm wanting to use is not. Background don't work anymore. Oh, TikTok. Come on. I'll just show you the picture. This is her mom. I wouldn't call mom. I'd say monster. So Trey Hembree is the father. And Trey was seen a lot at vigils, at parades that they have and events they have that was trying to find justice for the baby. Trey was, and I don't know if he's still in jail for unrelated street pharmaceutical charges. He may be in jail. So some time goes by. Then they arrest. They come forward and they say, we have an arrest. We've done it. We've got, in addition to mom, because she's already been arrested, we've got an arrest. And it's this guy right here. No, they weren't together. His name is Harvey Gallahan, and he is 45 years old. Here is where the problem for me begins. Because this man is the man that she lived with, Erica, in her 20s. He was originally charged with slaughter and multiple counts of degree criminal abuse. So if you're telling me that Harvey Gallahan has been arrested and he was charged with slaughter and multiple counts of first-degree criminal abuse, what do you all think in the freaking world that he must have done to this little girl? If you're charged with slaughter and criminal abuse, what do you think the state thought that you done to that child? Oh, but guess what? The mom, Erica, had the death penalty on the table. And the state of Kentucky made a plea deal with her. She's not doing life. No, maybe. Erica Lawson, the woman responsible for handing her baby out for rent while she got high on the couch, will only spend about 25 years or less, depending on parole outcomes. 25 to life. And now, Harvey, that piece of shit, just signed yesterday a plea deal. I think she's like 21, 22, Stephanie. I have to look. We went from a slaughter and criminal abuse charge, and then we looked at the guy and said, you want a deal? The state claims that he is the reason they were able to indict Erica Lawson. So the state has come back yesterday and they said, Harvey, thank you. We love you. Thank you so much. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have been able to indict Erica Lawson. And for that, we are forever grateful for you. How about you sign this plea deal so you can get out of jail in only 20 years? And yesterday, he signed it. I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to read to you. I'm going to show to you what they said. That's right. True crime. By the way, Cajun Cowgirl, I saw your message and didn't have a minute to respond, but True Crime, Cajun Cowgirl is Cajun Cowgirl, but she's renamed it to True Crime With, so make sure you follow her. Let me explain what the document is, and then I'm going to read it to you. They offered him an official plea offer filed by the Commonwealth of Kentucky in the case of Harvey. He was charged with slaughter, which is a Class A felony, by the way, and 3 counts of first-degree criminal abuse of a child under 12, a Class C felony. Under this plea agreement, the slaughter charge, are you ready? First of all, is everybody sitting down? And if you have something that you can throw that won't hurt anyone else and that you can do without, get it ready now. Under the plea agreement, the murder charge, I'm going to say it, would be dismissed. Under the plea agreement, the slaughter charge would be dismissed. The 3 first-degree abuse charges would be reduced to second-degree criminal abuse, which is a much lighter Class D felony. Harvey Gullahan would only serve 5 years for each of the 3 counts, totaling 15 years, plus 5 years for another Bell County case unrelated to this case. They're combining them, I don't know why, for a total of 20 years in state prison. So they took the slaughter, this hasn't been decided. This goes before the judge on November the 3rd. That's why I feel like on Sunday, November the 2nd, I'm packing up the car and I'm going to my aunt's house. And then I'm going to the court case on Monday. And when it's over, I'll be live outside the courthouse protesting this absurdity of a decision. Gallahan witnessed the abuse and neglect of baby Elena multiple times while she was in his home, but did nothing to protect her. Here's where I'm confused. There is a difference between Schlurter and just watching somebody abuse a child. Where did the Schlurter charge go? Do you see how big of a difference that is? You either unalive someone or you did not. So how could they have enough to charge him with Schlurter? But because he told them some stuff about Erica, they're taking the Schlurter charge off the table? Trying to? Jess says, this is my hometown. The judge is awful and has let so many people off with violence toward women and kids. Jess, I am from Harlan County. Jess, I'm from Harlan County. I grew up Pathfork Holler. They say he didn't seek medical help, didn't report the abuse, and didn't call Child Protective Services. It's the DA, Leah. What she's saying, she's explaining. So this goes to in front of the judge on the November the 3rd. Okay, let me lay this out there so that nobody's confused. This is the DA offering a plea, and he signed it yesterday. He did sign it. I've got his signature. I've got the paperwork. He signed it. But now it goes before the judge. The judge can say no. If the judge rejects the plea deal, then it goes back to a possible life in prison sentence. But I'm so confused. Did he Schlurter her or not? He didn't seek medical help. He didn't report it. He didn't call CPS, although the uncle did. Called the police. The police went out there, you know. And guess what the police said? They're not here. There's nothing we can do. They went by one time. And because mom and baby wasn't home, they wrote it off as not home, and they never went back. This was just a few weeks before she passed. The Commonwealth gave him a plea deal partly because he cooperated and gave a truthful statement that helped convict Elena's mother, Erica Lawson, for Schlurter, which she should have been convicted on without him anyway. And I don't understand how Harvey is now going to possibly get a Schlurter charge removed from his charges simply for cooperating with the state. Has anybody ever heard this? Ever. Now, we're not talking about somebody. So what is it here? What is it, Kentucky? Was he just sitting there watching the abuse go on, not doing nothing? Or was he participating in the bedroom rental program? Which is it? I guarantee you he was true crime too. Who are you saying that this man sat around the house and never once participated in the events that led to the death of this baby. Is that what you are saying to me, state of Kentucky? I'm going to read to you what the plea deal said. I've got it. I've got a copy. I'm going to show it to you, then I'm going to read it to you. Okay. There's a signature. Yesterday. Or maybe, we found out about this yesterday. I don't know exactly when he signed it, but let me see if there's a date on here. September the 22nd, 2025, he signed this plea deal and accepted it. Listen to what they said. Listen, this is absurdity. Quote, the facts are elicited from a thorough search and review of all discovery show that the victim suffered abuse and neglect at the hands of her mother, Erica Lawson, the child's custodian, while in the home of Mr. Gallahan and under his watchful eye. Under his eye. Mr. Gallahan wantonly, that's a special word, wanton, calls for special circumstances, deeper charges. Mr. Gallahan wantonly witnessed the abuse, neglect, and serious physical injury resulting in the child's death, at least on 3 occasions, and took no action to protect the child and did not seek medical assistance and did not seek social services or any protective agency to remove the child from the situation. The Commonwealth is mindful and offers this amendment in part due to the voluntary and truthful statement made by Mr. Gallahan, who, by the way, has criminal history out the yin-yang. He's so trustworthy. Which allowed the Commonwealth, to secure a conviction for Erica Lawson, without which a conviction could not have been obtained. That right there, I call bullshit. Is the rip from end to end on a 7-month-old child's private area. She had blunt force trauma to her head. Mom is the one that was last with her. Mom is the one that brought her to the ER. Shaken 3 times. And you're looking at this man and you're saying, please help us convict Erica Lawson. You didn't have enough on your own? Look at the baby. Let me send you the pictures that I have of the baby. And then tell me you need Harvey Gallahan to convict the mother. I'm going to tell you what's going on here in the state of Kentucky. It's called not doing your job. One done, zip it up, tie it up with a neat bow, get your paycheck, go on to the next, and call your cousin, say, we got this one wrapped up, we're starting another one. In exchange for a plea of guilty on admitted counts 2 through 4 of the indictment, the Commonwealth recommends dismissal of count 1, which is slaughter, and a sentence of 5 years to serve on each of counts 2 through 4, all consecutive, not concurrently, so that he would at least have to do the 15 years plus, for a total of 15 years and consecutive with the sentence bill indictment 24-CR-160, 5 years, for a total of 20 years. On November the 3rd, the judge will have to decide whether to accept or reject the plea offer. What they're going to do is look at the amount of evidence that they have against Harvey, and it's up to the judge to decide on whether or not it's risky enough to go in front of a jury. But I'm going to read you something. A friend of mine sent me a copy of the letter that is representing the town of Middlesboro in Bell County. This is a letter to Judge Nagel, the judge who's going to be overseeing and hearing the case on November 3rd. Dear Judge, we write to you today on behalf of the Source News. Justin Howard, which is my friend. He's the owner of the Source News. And all citizens of Bell County who are outraged at how this case has been handled and who demand transparency and justice for Elena Hembree. What has happened to Elena was not merely a crime. It was a destruction of an innocent child's life. That life mattered. Her suffering deserves the full force of laws, and the public deserves the full truth. Your Honor, you and I have spoken many times, and I know that you are a man of faith and conviction who strives to do what is right. You have within your authority the ability to let baby Elena rest in peace, not through a hidden agreement, but by allowing every shred of evidence to be examined in open court. If the truth is to be revealed, let it come through the scrubbing light of a jury trial. We respectfully urge you to deny any plea agreement in this case. Let this matter be presented to 12 of her peers. Allow them to hear every witness, examine every piece of evidence, sift through every forensic detail, and determine for themselves whether a defendant is guilty of slaughter, sexual abuse, or other violent crimes. Only a trial can give Elena the justice she deserves and bring transparency to a case clouded by inconsistent messaging and public distrust. From the first vigil that we held in Elena's memory, The Source News and the community have worked tirelessly to ensure accountability. We cannot and will not stop until the full truth is revealed. The citizens of Bell County are frustrated, confused, and deeply mistrustful of the mixed signals that have come before law enforcement, the prosecution, and public statements. Many now call on you, Judge Nagel, to refuse any plea deal so the case can fully be aired in court in public view. Avoiding trial risk, hiding information in the public that the public has a right to know. Additionally, as a journalist and representative of the Source News, I respectfully request that I, Justin Howard, be granted full press privileges in the courtroom during all proceedings related to this case. It is essential that the public have access to accurate, first-hand reporting to ensure transparency, accountability, and trust in the judicial process. Legally, a trial court possesses discretion to review and reject plea agreements when necessary to preserve the integrity of the judicial process and ensure that justice is served. By accepting a plea deal in a matter of this gravity without full public airing of the evidence, we risk silencing critical testimony, denying cross-examination under oath, and withholding facts from the community. Your Honor, the Source News and the citizens of Bell County ask you to act with the courage and integrity for which you are known. Deny the plea. Force this case to trial and let justice flow through the courtroom and not behind closed doors. May God grant you the wisdom, strength in making the right decision. Respectfully submitted, the Source News, Justin Howard, on behalf of the citizens of Bell County. That's tough. I am brought right back to Brian Kohberger. That's Right Wishes, Elena Hembree. Where the family is saying, and in the Brian Kohberger case, not half, but some of the victims' parents were okay with the plea deal. Some were not. But it seems like in this case, the citizens and the family are both upset that this man might be able to walk out in 20 years and do the same thing to someone else. Erica, too. Me Too wishes. We have 48,000 likes. Let's see if we can make this 75,000 likes pretty quickly. We have 233 loving souls in this room. If you are in here and you don't follow me, please do so. It's free to do. So where we're at now is just really waiting for the judge to make a decision. And I hope that plea, although it is rare for a plea deal to be rejected, and I'll put that out there, statistically, it's going to look like he would accept it. Yes. Wrap it up, case closed, bow on it. You go here, you go there. I don't care for how long. I'm going back to my nice house that my judge or my DA or my whatever salary pays for, and moving on to the next child who was beaten to death. Alicia says, I pray he does the right thing for that precious little angel. She deserves so much. Yes, with blood on their hands. There's another story I want to tell you about coming out of Kentucky. Kentucky is really busy these days. Here's another story that I wanted to talk about. Remember, I said we had a lot going on. I don't know if I got this feller's picture or not. A lot going on. I don't know if I got this feller's picture or not. I don't know why pictures don't transfer that I sent it myself. Does she have any family speaking out for her? So I know that her aunt uncle, I don't know if it's a uncle or a great uncle, is spoke out at the time, is the one who called the cops the first time. So there are some folks on that side of the family who are infuriated. But for the most part, she's alone. I'm texting myself some pictures of another case I want to talk to you about. And you've probably heard of this one before. I have heard of this one before.